Can you put him up here?
I got it.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Francis. I think y'all are on mute. Can you ask the staff to unmute it? All right, I think, can you introduce yourself?
My name is Brandon Francis, 429626.
Okay, Mr. Francis, we're here for a revocation decision this morning. I'm going to read the allegation against you and you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty. But first, we're going to put up a form on the screen for you to confirm that you recognize the form. She's putting it up. Mr. Francis, that's a parole revocation questionnaire. Can you come and zoom in so you can see the whole thing?
Yes, ma'am. I can see it.
He needs to see the whole form.
I can see it, ma'am. I can see it.
Yeah, but you. I think this is as far as it goes. You have to do the little minus sign. Oh. So he can see it in its entirety. All right, now you see the whole form. Is that your signature at the bottom of the page dated June the 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and thank you. Mr. Francis, based on the information contained in that form, you're not eligible for appointed counsel this morning. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
You're accused of violating the conditions of your parole, specifically condition number 4. And it says you engaged in criminal activity as evidenced by your arrest on January 28, 2023 by the Thibodeau Police Department on the charges of domestic abuse battery, simple battery, and interfering with an emergency communication. On May 15th, the court ordered the charges null pros and issued a stay away order to protect the victim, Lisa Dumas, until May 15th, 2024. How do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Not guilty.
All right. Your case has been assigned to Mrs. Jackson. Would you answer her questions, please?
Ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How long have you been detained on this since
January the 28th.
of 2023? You were arrested for domestic abuse battery, simple battery, and interfering with emergency communications on 5/15 of 23. You went to court and the charges were dismissed, and then there was a protective order put in place. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, what would you like to say about the situation that led to your arrest?
See, Miss Jackson, see, I just had got paid on the 25th, which was a Wednesday. Okay. All this here started from the 26th when I allowed her to use my vehicle to go to the store, and I told her to pick me up at 10 o'clock that night when I got off from work, but she didn't. I was working at La Costa restaurant and Big Mike's restaurant.
Okay, go ahead.
And I was getting these text alerts every time you swipe my card. And it was letting me know, coming to my phone, letting me know that my card was being used at a casino. So when 10 o'clock came, I was calling her. She never answered her phone or nothing like that. So I had to walk all the way home, you know what I'm saying? And when I got there, I had to get in the house, took my bath, and I'm waiting. I'm just sitting up waiting till she get home. She come home like 5 minutes after 4 the next morning. So as she coming in, I'm getting my keys from her so I can get in my vehicle to go to my apartment. So, and I'm asking about them like, do you have my bank card? She like, no, I don't. I'm like, look at the text alerts that come into my phone from somebody using my card. So I go in my car and I'm looking for my wallet. I don't see my wallet. She took my wallet. All right. So I went to my apartment, stayed there. That's Friday, went to work. Saturday, she asked me to use my vehicle again to go to a baby shower at 11 o'clock. So I said, man, pick me up at 10 o'clock tonight. Okay. Around about 11:15, I'm getting text alerts, text alerts, text alerts, text alerts. So that night, when I catch a ride home, I go to Blake's truck stop. I see her coming out the casino, her and my sister, stepsister, coming out the casino. And I'm like, hold on. What you doing here? I thought you was going to a baby shower. Oh, we just come from a baby shower. No, you coming from out the casino. Give me my card. So she like, I don't have your card. I said, well, what is this? I'm showing her all the text alerts. All right. I'm going home. I said, go home. I'm coming over there to get my stuff from your house, and I'm going back to my apartment. I went in the store, purchased a pack of cigarettes, left, went to her apartment. I asked, I said, please give me my card so I can leave. She gonna tell me, if you leave me, I'm gonna call the police and tell the police that you jumped on me. I said, fine, do what you gotta do, but I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm getting from out of a situation that I don't wanna be in because I work too hard for my money. And I lays there. I called the police. That when she left the scene, when the police pulls up 10 minutes later, she comes back out and told the people I jumped on her, which I never put my hands on her nor my sister. They have photos of the incident. If I would have been beating her up like she said I did, punching her in her face and stuff, her whole face would have been busted up. I was the one that got scratches on me. I have the right to defend myself, but I never put my hands on this lady.
How old are you?
45.
Okay. And how old is the complainant in this case?
She's 52.
And how long have you all been in a relationship together?
5 years.
Were you aware that she had a gambling issue?
No, ma'am. All this stuff started, Ms. Jackson, when, like I said, January 28th and the 26th, when her and my stepsister got together. You know, I know my stepsister got a gambling problem, but I didn't know that this woman here had a gambling problem as well. I didn't know none of that, but I know my stepsister got a gambling problem.
I went through the probation officer's narrative, and you have been in compliance with your supervision up until you got arrested for this. You maintained employment. Every time you changed employment, you advised your parole officer. You were always available for contact, and they didn't have any issues with you up until you were arrested on these charges. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are your intentions with respect to the relationship you were in with this woman?
Well, it was like an on and off thing, you know, like when she'll go to fussing when I don't give her no money because I was the only income coming in the house. I was paying my bills and her bills, but she'll get mad and I just leave and go back to my apartment because I don't want to be around this old negativity stuff, you know. I'm trying to keep a clean slate and do what I'm supposed to do as a man by working and staying out of trouble until I get off parole.
So you don't plan to be in a relationship with her going forward?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm done. I'm done with her.
All right, thank you. That's all.
Mr. Francis, is there anything you'd like to say to us before we vote?
No, ma'am.
All right, we're prepared to vote. Ms. Jackson.
All right, Mr. Francis, my vote is do not revoke and return you to supervision. I did see the pictures. I didn't see any particular injuries on the victim of any note. I did see some on you. Um, and you were doing everything you were supposed to do on parole. You had no issues with you whatsoever, and I do not believe that this incident should result in your revocation. So my vote is do not revoke, return to supervision.
Mr. Freeman.
I agree with Ms. Jackson. I vote to reprimand you, continue under supervision. Get in touch with your probation officer when they turn you loose, which should be today or tomorrow. And, stay away from her. I mean, you have done great under supervision for a long time. So go back and do the same.
Yes, sir.
Right, Mr. Francis, that's my vote as well. Do not revoke, return to supervision, and stay away from Miss Lisa Jones.
Yes, ma'am.
Luckily.
All right, thank y'all.
All right, thank you. And I think we only had those two today.
Yes, thank you so much for your help. We
You're
appreciate it.
welcome. Thank you.
Next.
It's frustrating. It is so frustrating because it is clear. It is as clear as day. It's even to the board, as Miss Jackson said. I saw the pictures. There were no marks on them, but there were definitely on you. And the idea that he's sitting in jail, a man who clearly got out of prison, has been working 2 jobs, has been following all of the restrictions of his parole. The woman that he's with calls the police and they handcuff him. Because you're on parole, they don't care. They handcuff him. He goes to jail and he rots there for months until he gets his chance. And that is just wrong. There needs to be some type of law that is put in place to protect men from these we see it now. It's like the new thing that I'm picking up on. It's my new focus of frustration. It's that there are so many cases where there's a bitter significant other that gets their spouse locked up on a parole violation for any given reason. And they have no consequences for it. None. They can even show up on camera and admit that they lied, and we have seen it. And I'm not talking about the classic DV case where it's like, she's a battered woman and she's lying to get him out. No. We see plenty of those too. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about the ones where it is clear that she made it up and they have no consequences. And there needs to be some type of consequence, whatever it is. I've given some of my ideas before. Maybe you can share some in your comment section. But that's not even the point to come up with the idea. The point is that there needs to be awareness around this, and there needs to be a law passed, because it's not right. No one's winning. It's destroying all this hard work that this man has clearly done. Thankfully, they had a parole board that actually listens. You know how many states where there are parole boards that would just I heard in some states, they don't even let the parolee talk. They just look at the file and they pass judgment. This is a revocation hearing, but please, storyteller, when you can say a story and I don't need to take notes to remember it. Someone is he's his girlfriend wanted to borrow his car, and he needs to go to work. He says, sure, just pick me up at 10 o'clock at night. So he works 2 jobs in the kitchen, working this long day. I can imagine. She doesn't show up. She doesn't pick up his phone calls. He walks home. I don't know how long of a walk it is, but he walks home because his car that he pays for is missing and she doesn't pick up. Meanwhile, he's getting text messages at a casino. He takes a bath. He had a long day. He takes a bath. Who takes baths anymore? Did you mean a shower or a bath? Anyone here take baths? I if I go to like a hotel and there's like a big bath, like I'll do it just to do it, but I get bored after like 30 seconds. I get bored. I can't actually stick it out. I don't know if you're a bath person, let me know, but I like the idea of it, but it never works. He takes a bath. She comes home, and he said about the casino thing, and and apparently he's like, whatever. He's being taken advantage of, this woman. Then the next day, the same thing happens. It's a different conversation to say why he's being taken advantage of, and that's but the same thing happens with his stepsister. They they have to go to the baby shower, but it turns out she's at the casino again, spending his money. And when he gets upset about it, she gets him locked up. Now, there was something where I'm happy he caught himself. I don't know if I just heard this, but I thought he said, if I'm getting attacked, I have the right to like he was going to say violence. And he caught himself. He said, I have the right to defend myself. And again, that's a side note. Again, why you should never talk to police, because you incriminate yourself. If you just say violence, they might, boop, that's it. That's it. That's not. Oh, so you were committing violence. No, I was defending. No, you said so. But it just infuriates me. And who knows, like the job that he's working at, they're not going to get the details. Hopefully they can watch this on YouTube and see, so they can trust him. But as far as they're concerned, the guy they took a chance on, who they hired, is locked back up. How is that going to affect maybe where he was going with a potential promotion? That this might set him back how many years? Like all the money that he lost from not working. How's he paying his car insurance? What happened to his apartment? Like the amount of damage, caused by this woman, and that she has no consequences for her action. It's broken. The system is broken. And I would really like to see that there be some type of law passed that holds people responsible. That's my venting for today. With that, I'll let you go.